Hey, Mystic Michaela spiritual family. Welcome to Know Your Aura with Mystic Michaela today. Talking about your rants. What makes you rant? And what does it reveal about what's within you? What is the shadow work we can do within our rants? But first, hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. First of all, I've been doing a lot of shadow work lately.
That's good.
Do you know that? Yeah. Nighttime, I go outside.
Yeah, I noticed.
I try to make it bigger, smaller.
Okay. Dad joke.
Dad joke. All right. Anyway, before we get into the ranting, Abby. We got to talk about Abby.
Yeah.
She has been playing turquoise mind games.
We call them
us.
turquoise mind games. Now, before we get into this, we have mom to dad warning here. If you have little ears, maybe skip ahead because we're going to be talking about, the tooth fairy and Santa and things like that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
So we continue. So yes, it all started. She lost a tooth. And okay. So she decided she didn't want the tooth fairy to take her tooth. Now, the way that you and I approach these things, like Santa, tooth fairy, all that, we're like, okay, all right, we'll play along. But when they start asking me a lot of questions, because I've already went through this with my 13-year-old, I'm not going to make up a lot of stuff to continue it. I refuse to kind of you know what I mean?
Right. Because I do recall, Bree, Red Aura Bree, was very mad at you when she found out about Santa.
It was really upset, and she was actually reading a book, and in the book she was reading, they revealed it, but she was 9. No, she was 10. She was 10 at the time, and she was like, "Is he real?" And I was like, "Listen, the magic of Christmas is real." And she's like, "Cut the BS." She didn't say it like that, but she made me level with her. I tried to do that whole the magic of Christmas is in our hearts, and that's what makes Santa real. And she was like, "Shut up, lady." I mean, she didn't say it like that at all, but she's like, basically, I had to say no, he's not.
Right. So then I thought the cat was out. All the cat was out of the bag, all the cats.
Yes.
And we have our elves.
We have elves.
Okay,
which
have Lizzie and
my
Ernie.
idea.
No, that was her idea.
This was her. This is
Bree's idea. But anyway,
elves are too much.
So I thought the whole thing was out in the open. So I took Lizzie and Ernie, our elves, that I hide in my my closet, and I put them on her pillow.
You're like, here are the elves. Now the elves are only if you have elves, they're only supposed to come out at Christmas.
Right. The elves on the shelves. Yeah.
Yeah, but she had an associated.
Right.
That the elves weren't real either.
Right. I didn't know that.
She lost.
I thought it was
so
Santa,
sad.
and she just lost.
She's like, the elves aren't real either. And I'm like, Zika! That was so bad.
And I just thought, hey, if you find out about Santa, then you would assume the elves
Well, you
too.
weren't raised with any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Because you were raised Jewish, so you didn't have this whole thing. Me being raised with Santa, I remember it took, it was kind of like a revelation. And then all over time, it's oh, wow. You connect the dots slowly. And then it's a bummer. It is a bummer. Yeah. But so having already gone through this with my 13-year-old, with the tooth fairy and all this, now I'm doing this with my 7-year-old. She loses a tooth, and she's like, "Oh, well, I want the tooth fairy to come." I'm like, "Oh yeah, well, you got to put your tooth under your pillow." She's like, "I don't want to give my tooth away, so we're going to take a bead and put it under the pillow, and then the tooth fairy will get tricked and take the bead. I get to keep my tooth. That's my tooth. I'm not giving it to some fairy, and she'll still leave me money."
Right.
So what she did, so this is and this is the first of two stories, and she turquoise head gamed me because I'm obviously lying to her about a fairy coming and taking a tooth away from you and giving you money, and then she's making me double lie or something. You know what I mean? It's because I feel like she intuitively understands that this isn't true. Surface, she believes it. Intuitively, I know she doesn't. She's making me trick the tooth fairy. So I'm in on it too now. This in cahoots with the tooth fairy.
Right.
So I didn't know what to do. I actually put on an Instagram story, and a lot of people had a lot better ideas than mine. I went with it. I'm like, yeah, let's trick the tooth fairy. Totally. Other people were write a note saying, I'd like to keep my tooth, thanks, or be more upfront with the tooth fairy. I'm like, yeah, let's trick her.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Now I got her back a little bit because I knew she was playing games, and I only left her $2. Normally I would leave $5. So I actually
$2 is good. Well,
I went cheap.
$2 is
cheap, and
it's pretty good though.
Yeah, but that was my way to get back at her.
So now fast forward to Easter. Okay. I put the baskets out at night. That's in our house. We put the baskets out at night. She had written a note to the Easter Bunny, put out a carrot. Okay. They go to bed. I hide the baskets. That's just what I do. And then in the morning, you're supposed to find your basket. Okay. Right. It's Easter morning. It's 7 a.m. I wake up. Abby's already up. I had hid the basket behind the bathroom door. I go to the bathroom. It's not there. And she's like, oh, yeah, I was up. I'm like, oh, did you find your basket? Oh, no. But I see where the bunny hid it. And I'm like, where? And it was in a whole different spot. She had re-hid the basket and then told me that that's where the bunny originally had it.
Right.
Also, she wrote a note from the bunny and put it in her basket. So I'm like, obvious. So
I can't keep a straight face with this.
I have to go along with it because otherwise I'd reveal... Like, I can't say, like, Abby, that's not where the bunny had his basket because I put it there. You know what I mean? Like,
correct, right.
So I have to go along with it. So she's, again, turquoise head gaming me, where she intuitively knows this whole thing's like a farce. And she's making me in on it with her. Yeah. Where now she's lying to me the same way I'm lying to her. Right. So that's the turquoise thing. Like, in a kid nutshell, it's like I was doing the whole... I hate to call it lying, but in a way it is. Like, I'm telling a story, we'll say it that way. I'm telling a story about the Tooth Fairy. I'm telling a story about the Easter Bunny. And then she absorbed it, reflected it back to me. Now she's telling me a story. And I'm supposed to, like, go with it just the way she's supposed to go with it. Like, that, I don't know how to handle it. I was just like, oh, wow, look, the bunny, I guess, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I asked her, like, 5 times. That's where the bunny left the basket, Abby. It was under Norman's cage. Mm-hmm. And she said, yeah.
A guinea pig.
Guinea pig, yeah. And she just would not budge off that.
I'm like, oh, that's where, you're like, that's where he left. She's like, yes. When I woke up, it was right there.
I know.
That's where it was. And then the note, but this was the note that he left. It was right here. So she's telling us the same story that we're telling her.
Right. And the note was left on top of her basket.
Oh, yeah,
and I asked why was it on top of Brianna's basket. But, because he, I wrote him, so.
Yeah, so you're right. So,
anyway,
it's just an interesting little nuance. Sometimes turquoise people are like, how does the thing show up? Well, in my kid, that's how it's showing up. I'm telling stories about Easter, and Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy. She's telling me stories now, so I got to go along with it.
All right. Well, we all need better help after that, so here we go.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. People don't always realize that physical symptoms like headaches, teeth grinding, and even digestive issues can be indicators of stress. And let's not forget about doom scrolling, sleeping too little, sleeping too much, undereating, and overeating. Personally, I have a hard time sleeping when I'm stressed, teeth grinding, 100%, headaches, all of that. Stress shows up in all kinds of ways, and in a world that's telling you to do more, sleep less, and grind all the time, here's your reminder to take care of yourself, do less, and maybe try some therapy. I love my phone sessions with my BetterHelp therapist. She's absolutely lovely, and I get wonderful insight to continue my week with a lighter spirit about things. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. That's how I do it. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy. Give it a try and see if online therapy can help lower your stress. Know Your Aura listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/KYA. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/KYA. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys.
So you are the king of red rants, and we're talking about rants today, but you've told me that you don't want to rant.
Yeah, I figured pretty much every episode I've done some sort of rant.
You are.
Most
a ranter.
Episodes. Yes, mm-hmm. I am a ranter. So I figured, today we were going to try to figure out how other aura colors rant. How does a purple rant, how does an indigo rant, how does a blue rant?
That's really considerate of you.
Yes. So I figured today,
it's just who you are.
I'm just not going to rant today.
Yeah, and you take a step back, Let other aura representation.
Yes, I'd like other colors represented in this episode. So I feel that I could get through this episode about ranting without ranting.
Well, I'll tell you what I did, because you told me you were going to do this before.
Right.
You were really proud of yourself and really sure about things, really confident that you could do this. I made a little hat with little things that I know are red rant triggers for you. And I'm going to read them. I'm going to read one right now. And let's see if it gets you going.
So yours, okay. All right.
So I wrote down things on these pieces of paper here. I'm going to pull from a hat that I know bother you. Okay. And I know if I just say it, you just fly into your red rant.
All right,
So here we go. Here's the first one.
Okay.
All right. Let's just see. Let's see if you can keep your mouth shut about things. Number 1 is Justin Bieber wins a Grammy for that Peaches song. I don't know if he did or not, but what if he did?
Okay, for even just being...
Well, you did watch his performance.
Yes.
Or even just his performance.
Yeah. Well, first of all, just being nominated.
And his very big suit.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to wear the big suit. Yeah.
All those things.
Yeah, just being nominated is enough to start a rant.
Okay. Ooh, this is hard for you. You're getting a little itchy.
And yes, I ate the peaches in Georgia, or I got my peaches in Georgia.
Are you ranting?
No, okay, no. Look, I could go on a long way with this.
Right.
But I'm gonna hold it for now. Okay, I'm not going to do it.
Well, I wanted to give an Indigo rant. We'll have to have a name for it, but I'm Indigo Purple, and here is a huge issue I have. I'm going to let myself just go here. Usually I hold this in, all right? I cannot stand, I like to be in the dark. I like the house dark. It's dark right now.
Yeah, we're taping right now in the dark.
I hate lights. And we have like hat lights, and this bothers me so much. Like when somebody turns on the lights when I'm in the room.
Okay, so that really bothers you.
Yeah. No,
I do that all the time.
Yeah,
don't
I know you do. But like I'm in there, and it's like I'm sitting there, and you come in, but your family does it too, and they're like, "Oh, it's so dark in here. It's so dark in here," and then like the lights turn on. It's like, "Oh, my eyes!" It's so stressful. And another thing that bothers me is like offices. Actually, I Indigo ranted about this at Walmart the other day. I was in the where do you buy? The Vision Center.
Vision Center.
And I was talking to the Vision lady because I had to figure out glasses for Brie. And she's Indigo, and I could tell she was having all these like autoimmune issues. I couldn't help but like dive in psychically on her a bit. And but the lights, and she's like, I have this migraine. I'm like, I'm not doing well today. I'm like, it is these freaking fluorescent lights. I can't stand, like, when you go into a place like Walmart or sometimes offices or anywhere, like Home Depot, like, it's so bright. Like, and schools and institutions, like, these fluorescent lights all the time. And I cannot stand that they've replaced, like, every tail light and traffic light with LED lights. Does this not hurt everyone else's eyes?
No, you don't even drive at night.
I can't, because it hurts so bad. Like, my eyes hurt. And they've changed, and I've done my own personal non-backed up research about this, because when you see old cars, like, the taillights don't hurt as much as like all the new cars. Like, if you see like I don't know, 15-year-old cars, like, they don't bother me, the taillights, but the lights now, it's like they're just in my eyes. They burn through me.
Whoa.
And I cannot stand. But honestly, it's the most inconsiderate thing when somebody comes into a room and turns on lights. Who the heck does that? Who does that?
What if they ask you? Is that okay? Like, let's say,
and I'll be like, no.
Okay. So
like, absolutely not.
Okay.
Like, no, thank you. I'm good.
What if, like, okay, what if, like, you have to eat? You're okay with eating in the dark?
That's weird for me. I have to see my food.
So you have to turn the light on a little bit?
A little bit, but like that will determine what I eat. Like if I'm eating cereal, I have to see it. But if I want to be in the dark, I'll just make it a granola bar. I don't have to look at that.
All right.
So I do. I cannot. And okay, so today's podcast episode is about rants and then like the shadow work that it leads to, or the issues in us that it leads to.
Like why is this bothering
you?
Why
is it like it does bother me because my eyes hurt and it makes me like angry inside. But like why it really bothers me is probably like visibility. I don't like to always be seen. And like when you go into these places and there's these bright fluorescent lights, there's like nowhere to hide. You can feel very vulnerable. You can feel like your boundaries are even more at risk energetically. And you can feel extremely seen. So I don't like bright places because Even the sun offends me.
That's what I was going to ask. What about like if it's really sunny?
My least favorite time of day is like the sunniest time, which around here and just the way our house is situated is like 2 to 5 p.m. ish, depending on the time of year. I cannot stand the sun sometimes, even, because it just makes me feel very visible.
So, like, let's say,
and I think that's my issue in life, feeling visible
on the plains of Montana on a perfectly sunny day without a cloud in the sky.
Remember when we were on a road trip and we were going through some reservation actually, and it was completely flat and sunny, and we stopped for gas, and the gas attendant randomly was like, everyone feels visible on a hot day. And I was like, whoa, yeah, that's exactly like all that. Don't know why you just randomly said that at the gas station, but totally he got it. Like why I was like stressed out. It's gotten worse as I've gotten older.
Okay.
I have just less tolerance. All right, that's my Indigo rant.
That was just an Indigo rant.
Indigo rant
on lighting.
Yeah.
Okay, so lighting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So now, and again, that would be something I would not rant about.
Okay, but here I have one for you.
Okay.
This is number 2.
Okay. Bad
grammar. Not that you have an issue with bad grammar. You have an issue that people have an issue with your bad grammar and and kind of grammar in general.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't mind bad grammar. I know I already had 3 yellows just DM me. They're very upset about this conversation. The yellows obviously are going to really attack me on
There's
this.
some English teachers coming for you.
I mean, I don't care, but like, here's my thing with the bad grammar.
Are you ranting?
Well, yeah, I can't really get into it.
You're ranting. Because like you don't use commas, and like you never know the difference between like theirs, all the theirs, and all the yours, and all the twos.
I know. You know what it is?
It kills me when you use the wrong two. It kills me.
I mean,
I don't know why. It just does.
I mean, I admitted to you just that I actually just recently started writing "You're welcome." You know how you're supposed to apostrophe R-E.
You are welcome.
I've been just writing "your" Y-O-U-R welcome.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, and I just recently stopped doing that.
It's like a whole different meaning.
Yeah, but here's the thing with it. Okay, and I can't really get into it, but I'll just say, it's like so mundane and nonsense, and the sun's going to blow up. It all has to relate to that. It all relates back to that.
So we're all going to die anyway. So who cares if you spell "your" wrong?
Yeah, like who cares? Like I'm gonna, I'd be dead. Like, what, you're really going to remember if I spelled "you're welcome" right? Okay, I can't get into it because you'll win. You'll win. All right.
I'll remember.
All right.
All right. Well, here, now I have to do a purple rant.
All right, do a purple rant.
This is hard for me. I keep these inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not known for ranting.
I know. I'm known for just swallowing it, keep it in the throat chakra.
There you go.
All right. Here's my purple rant. I've had this one forever. Wearing brands, meaning... the shirts would say like Old Navy on it or Hollister or whatever.
Right.
Like I cannot, like you do you know what I mean? If you want to wear that, I don't care. Like I'm not judging anybody because I'm also purple. I can't judge. Like for myself and the companies, and they make those shirts the cheaper ones too. So even when I was like a kid and I didn't have a ton of money and it was like the Old Navy that say Old Navy shirts were like $5 and the ones that didn't were like double, I was like, I will not do it because I felt like they were trying to make me do it by making the shirts cheaper and make me advertise for them. And I felt like they were trying to tell me what to do and control me. So I would like advertise for them. And to this day, I cannot, like if anything has like a logo on it, even like a tiny one, even like the Ralph Lauren polos with the little horse on it or I don't know, there's all those kind of things. Yeah. Like, I hate it. I hate anything with a logo on it.
No, I know. Well, the other day, you wanted a jean jacket.
Yeah.
We went into Guess, and they actually had a jean jacket that wasn't a half jean jacket.
Yeah.
So we actually found a full-size jean jacket.
Yeah.
Very difficult, by the way.
Hard.
Very difficult. We went to like 4 stores to find this, but... and then they're, I'm like, oh, well, why don't you get a shirt underneath it? And like every shirt at Guess says Guess on it. So I picked out like a nice shirt, like a nice powder blue shirt, but it said, it had the Guess logo on it.
Me. I couldn't do it.
And you couldn't do it.
I'm
like, well, just wear it, be underneath the jacket.
I'm advertising.
And you just couldn't do it.
I can't do it. I just have never been able to do it. I can't do it. I hate when companies think for you that way, and they make those shirts cheaper sometimes because they want you to wear them, I assume. And the other place I can't stand it is like at the movie theater. Like anywhere where they make pricing to think for me, I get really like angry, and then I rebelliously like don't want to do it anymore. Like even want to pay more to avoid falling into, because they're like, oh, do you want to make that a combo for $2, or do you want the extra large for 25 cents more? I'm like, no, I'm going to pay more. And they're like, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. Don't think for me. Because it's not like, oh, look, it's a deal. Like, you've found some sort of deal. Like, they did that to you.
I know.
To manipulate you.
Yeah.
It bothers me.
Okay, yeah. That doesn't bother me. Actually, the reverse bothers me on that. Like, the other day, I bought a T-shirt, and it was like buy one, get one half off on the other one.
Yes.
And they were trying to get me to buy
another one for half
off. And the thing is, I don't care, but I would have bought the other one if it was up there. But, like, to me, I didn't want to go get the shirt, hold up the whole line, waste people's time.
Us.
There was like, there
was
was someone going to be behind us. They were going to be behind us.
You're done.
It was like, it was just, I don't have like the patience
You're
to
like,
do
whatever,
it.
I'll just.
Whatever. I'll just not.
You don't like sales. Well, that's your.
No, I mean,
you don't like the fake sales.
Yeah. If they had the shirt up there, I would have done it. Like, throw it in the bag.
Those sales are fake, by the way. Like, 'cause I used to work in retail, and like everything, anybody who works in retail knows this. Here's another rant. Here's a purple rant. Yeah, like sales. Sales are fake, everybody. They're fake. It's not real. Like, they make everything like the actual retailer's price or whatever, and then they'll do the sale. Otherwise, if you come in any other time, it's just, going to be like the discount, the regular discount.
Yeah. It's very interesting seeing someone else rant, by the way, because usually I'm doing it. It's funny. It's like we reversed the roles today.
Okay, Scott, I got one for you.
All right,
let's see
I'm
if you
two
can,
for two right
Let's
now.
see if you can hold back.
All right.
Okay. Actors don't act. This is one of your top red rants.
Yeah. I mean, some do, and some are fantastic. I mean, there are incredible actors out there like Leonardo DiCaprio. Great actor. He can play many roles. But there are some actors like Ryan Reynolds. Very attractive man, by the way. But every movie I've seen on... Okay, I can't get into it, right?
Yeah.
Every movie on Netflix, he plays the same person.
Well, we've seen like 3 movies for some reason on Netflix in a row.
So it doesn't matter if he's like fighting aliens or in a video game.
Yeah.
He's the same person.
Right.
Same Joe, or with The Rock and a jewel thief or whatever he was.
Right.
Yeah, same person. He's actually himself.
Well, any movie I watch with you, you're like, that's how they are. That's how they were in this movie. And they're the same in this movie. Like, actors don't act. Like, that's a big thing for you.
Yeah. The good ones do.
Okay.
The good ones do.
I feel like that was a rant. No, I don't know. I feel like you're ranting.
I'm getting there, maybe. You're starting to hit some nerves.
All right. You will win if you don't rant about this very last thing I wrote down.
Okay.
Coachella.
All right, you're playing dirty. That's just dirty. Okay, that's really dirty.
Nobody cares more about Coachella than you.
No.
I have to say.
Okay.
No, nobody cares. No, like, nobody cares about it except the people there and you.
I understand that. Well, some people do. And
I don't think they do.
Yeah, they do because they... Okay. All right, now I have to go off here.
All right, go for it.
All right, Coachella. This is my issue.
You've labeled it.
It puts everything. It takes all my rants and puts it into one. And I actually, had to do a lot of shadow work after realizing, why do I get so angry about this festival that's in the desert? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I get so angry about it, first of all, it is the most phony thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay. Every influencer on Instagram that has, posts about it, they're there. Okay. They make it look like it's the greatest place on earth.
Festival wear.
Now, I've been to the Coachella Valley, not during the festival.
Have I been there?
Yeah, you were there. You were with me.
I don't remember.
We went. We saw your Uncle Pat. We did some things. We went out to dinner.
Oh, yeah, it's hot.
We took the tram ride.
It's very hot.
Very hot. It is super hot.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the first thing. They're in the sun.
No, it was hot.
It is hot.
And there's no trees.
It's like just pure sun. Now, let me just get into the pricing of the ticket first. Okay.
Oh my God, he's taking off his glasses and he's zooming in research.
Okay, Coachella 2022. Fees. All right. First of all, they tier this thing up. So there's a tier 1.
It's like a class system.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of festivals do this, by the way.
All do
but
that,
I'm going to use Coachella as this is for all festivals, by the way. Okay. You could just apply it. All right. Tier 1, before fees, $449. They couldn't even make it an angel number, 444. Okay, they had to make it 449. Okay.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah. Tier 2, $475. Tier 3, $499. Tier 5, $549. And then there's a VIP option, which is $929, going all the way up to $1,119.
How is the VIP different than the regular?
Yeah. Okay, well, there's a lot of ways. Well, the biggest way is if you have the VIP ticket, you can actually go to a bathroom.
There's like real bathrooms.
They have real bathrooms. If you're in like tier 1 through 4, you're peeing on yourself. you're like literally peeing on yourself. You're peeing on people near you.
Like porta potties.
Yeah, you're going in a corner to do your number 2.
Ew.
People are watching. It's horrible. Horrible.
I do believe that.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Like you're maneuvering your festival wear around taking a number 2 in the desert.
Yeah. Tier 1 and tier 2, if you don't get heat stroke, it's a miracle. Okay, those 2 tiers.
I did see pictures of people skipping out on the concerts just so they could like sit in the shade of a building.
Yeah.
It was so hot.
Okay. So first this really bothers me. And then it goes on to your Instagram feed, and here's the thing. If I know you and you went to Coachella, I'd be like, all right, fine, let me see what you're doing.
Right.
But then there's these people, I don't know how they get into my Instagram feed.
Sponsored
First of all,
posts.
Yeah, and I see them, and they're like,
you get so mad at sponsored posts.
Link in bio for my vlog at me at Coachella. Like, why in the world would I care that you're at Coachella? Like, what would it ever matter to me that you're in the desert paying God knows how much money, peeing on people, and getting heat stroke? Like, why do I care? But yet, there are people that like it.
Is there anybody you would care about who was there?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if someone
you didn't know, I don't know.
If someone I didn't know, I don't care. Like, if someone I knew went, I'd be like, oh yeah, let me see, tell me what really goes on. That's what I would want to know. I'd be like, okay,
Like what really happened?
Yeah, what really happened.
How much is like a slice of pizza?
Yeah, and then it's just like an endless
it's $17.
cycle. Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
I looked that up.
This really bothered me.
I looked it up.
But can we go back to Justin Bieber?
Do you remember when? Oh my god, I'm aging myself. Remember when they redid Woodstock? When was that? Oh god,
I know the original
20 years.
was
No,
69.
but they redid it.
Yeah, I remember that.
And this was before festival. Like this was probably. Nowadays, there's like, oh, this festival and Coach Fest. There's tons of like Stagecoach. There's tons of like these sponsored Instagrammable festivals, right? But back, they redid Woodstock. I want to say it's like 1999, but I don't remember. I could be wrong. It was something like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But it was like all sponsored by like Pepsi and stuff. And then there was so much. They got so much flack because they were like charging $4 for a water back then, and now what happened to us that we don't even care anymore? Like people actually were like appalled that they took like a cool festival like the original Woodstock and made it like corporate, and now it's like that's what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah.
And nobody complains except you.
Yeah, except me.
I'm sure other people.
And now, yeah. So here's the thing. So
okay, back to it.
With this, we're taping this mid Coachella. By the way, we've already got the first weekend done. We still got one weekend to get through.
Yeah.
And it'll be when it comes out, it'll be after that. But and then I was in the gym the other day, and I'm thinking to myself, I knew we were going to go do this episode about, ranting and stuff. And I'm like, well, why? What is the common denominator of my rants? Why am I getting really heated on that? And I don't get heated about the light thing that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And I kind of concluded that basically whether I'm ranting about Justin Bieber winning an Emmy or getting nominated for an Emmy for that Peaches song, which was terrible, and I just know that there's all these great, incredible singer-songwriters out there who right now are lugging around all their equipment, going from show to show, and their lyrics are better, everything's better. But yet he's going to win a Grammy for that, or possibly win a Grammy. Or what was the other one we had?
Bad grammar?
The actors,
actors don't act.
Yeah, and then there's probably some incredible actors out there that'll never get their chance to be in, the number one rated Netflix movie of the week, So I guess it goes back to it's the little person. It goes back to the little guy.
Yeah.
And then the other one, would be my, again going back to that fear that the Earth's going to blow up and. Because they're just like it's just such nonsense that you care about what my grammar is.
Well, that's your shadow work. I think I think that was a shadow work episode that came out with you.
Yes, it did.
Where you didn't feel very listened to as a child, and you felt very isolated in your own thoughts and feelings. And now, when somebody is kind of isolated or alone or underdog, you get triggered by that.
Right.
So like that's what today's episode's about. It's about getting like why. Do the things we get so impassioned and angry about actually lead back to even the little things, like my light thing and everything, it leads back to what's really going on with us and just a little pathway back to that pain
That's what it is. And, and with the Coachella thing, I really don't care what these people do. To me, I can care less.
I know, you do know a lot about it.
I do, because it just, for some reason, pops up, but it gets me angry because, it's like, it goes back to what I think is like, these are the popular people, or these influencers are like the popular people, and, everyone else is trying to kind of be those popular people. And it's like so sad. Like, you like they're there and then you got to watch it.
Yeah.
Like now I don't care because in high school I was so, or whenever I'm so oblivious to things.
Right.
So it's not even that I'm angry. Like I would never go to Coachella. There's like, you give me a free ticket, I'm not going. So, but I know that there's some people that look at it and they're, like looking at their outfits or whatever and they think like that they're living this incredible life, but really it's all BS. It's just a mirage in the desert. So, so that's why it bothers me.
So you feel like people are being misled?
I think people
to spend money.
Yeah,
you feel like people are being manipulated and misled to spend money to reach an ideal that's purposely out of their grasp and always will be because it's controlled by like a corporate market, bigger thing than them that just basically is like a carrot on a stick, and we're the donkeys just following it, but we'll never get it.
I love that you're always able to take my red rants and actually put them and make sense of them.
All right, so you don't like people being manipulated, and you want them to open their eyes and hate Coachella as much as you do.
Yeah, and then what would happen would be So what you would see is like they post the Instagram post, then they would have to put it on others because people wouldn't like it. Like, because they're expecting, 10,000 people are going to like this. And then they'd put it on others.
Oh, you're saying like where you turn off the like feature.
Yeah, they would have to.
You can't. Not everybody knows you can do that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, remember, not everybody knows all these things.
So basically what you'd see would be like no one would care. No one would like their posts. And thus Coachella would die. Because they only care that people care that they are there.
And out of the ashes rises Scotchella.
Yes. And I do think there should be a Scotchella. It'll be in my backyard. There'll be ample potties for you, so you don't have to go to the bathroom on each other.
Potties? Who has children?
We're not going to charge you. Was it $17 for a piece of chicken? Was it $17 for a piece of pizza?
Yeah.
We're only going to charge you like $5.50. We're not going to charge you $40 to park your car. It'll probably be like $10. We'll make it. It's
affordable.
Yeah, we'll have Scotchella. We'll have some yogis back there. Maybe Jamie will get her to do some yoga. We'll have like all these things. It'll be like a huge festival. I'll put on like my YouTube from my iPad, like 4, Generation 4. I'll get some Neil Diamond going for us and Creedence Clearwater Revival. It'll be great.
Okay.
Scotchella. All right. We got a couple of ads. You're going to do your speech on the colors. But then after that, the MMSF gets very, very angry when they rant, and we're going to do that too.
Last week, we talked about how your animals tell on you in psychic readings, and I'll tell you, one way they do tell on you is if you're not making them happy with their kitty litter situation. It's true. So calling all cat owners, are you spending too much time cleaning out your cat's litter box or always feel like you add more litter? Are you getting that look from them? They're like, fix it, Mom. Fix it, Dad. Okay, well, our new sponsor, Kitty Poo Club, has found the perfect solution to these problems. Kitty Poo Club is the most convenient monthly litter box ever. Every month, Kitty Poo Club delivers an affordable and recyclable litter box that's pre-filled with the litter of your choice. They even have an extra large litter box option for all those fluffier cats out there. When the month is up, just recycle the used litter box and Kitty Poo Club will automatically deliver a new one to you. It's very easy. You can easily customize your subscription at any time too. Maybe add some toys, treats, accessories, whatever will make you and your kitty happy. And they always include a little scooper, which I appreciate, so I can throw out the old one every time. And right now, Kitty Poo Club is offering an awesome discount on your first litter box order and free shipping when you set up an auto ship. Just go to www.kittypooclub.com to save on your first auto ship order of litter boxes with free shipping, and be sure to let them know that Know Your Aura sent you after you check out. We really appreciate that. That's kittypooclub.com. because I'm always using a lot of heat on my hair, it can get very frizzy and damaged and dry. When my hair isn't cooperating, it can be very tempting to just throw it up into the ponytail and call it a day, but that doesn't solve the problem, it just hides it. You can break your hair out of the ponytail and treat it to some much needed TLC with the leave-in conditioner from Way. This multitasking powerhouse does it all. It hydrates, detangles, fights frizz, and even acts as a heat protectant. Trust me, your hair will thank you. I absolutely love the leave-in conditioner because I put it in, and I also know that it's protecting my hair from the heat I'll be using to style it. So for protection from heat, dryness, and frizz, the way to healthier hair is Way's best-selling leave-in conditioner. You can say goodbye to frizz, tangles, flyaways, and breakage for all hair types. It protects hair from heat up to 450 degrees, and it's scented with North Bondi, a floral fragrance with notes of violet and white musk. It's color safe and cruelty-free. Discover a new way of life with the leave-in conditioner from Way. Go to The Way, TheOuai.com and use code AURA to get 15% off your entire purchase. That's 15% off your entire order at The Way, TheOuai.com, code AURA. It's always really funny to talk about ranting and what makes people tick and really what upsets people, but it's a little deeper than just an aura rant, because what makes us really upset deep down tells us a lot about ourselves. It can lead to where our trauma is, where things are that need to be healed. It really tells us a lot about all the things we're so cognizant of and self-aware of in ourselves not to do, so that when we see it in others, it can bring up a lot of issues. Like, wow, I'm repressing myself all day and you're just blatantly out doing that. And that I see can be a link between shadow work and ranting. You know, shadow work is where we work on the parts of ourselves we'd rather put away or hide. Our ego works very hard to hide these unhealed wounds in us. That's why they're called the shadow work, where you got to dive in there, and having your rants and understanding what irks you is a great little pathway into your shadows so that you can bring them into the light and heal yourself a bit. Sometimes we see ourselves in people, you know, and when we see others acting out or others being mistreated, we can react to it out of our own pain. I think we all know that. But with the ranting, it's also, again, like, you spend all day the things you're so self-aware of not to do when other people are so blatantly doing it, that is where the rant part comes in. And that's another layer of shadow work and another place you can go and investigate it. The things that we try so hard in ourselves to get right because they're so important to us, not everybody holds those same things in the same regard. So it can be very hard to go out and interact with the world and see a lot of people doing things that you're like, wow, like, hello. And these can because we can't control other people. And ranting is a great release. Okay, I released it. But then at the end of the day, what do I really do with this? And the place that we have control is, how do I heal the place that just ranted? Because right there's something. So let's investigate that something and see what nuggets of growth we can unearth as we do it. So I wanted to go through each aura color and talk about their roles in families and societies because of their personalities, their energy, and what really gets them going. What can be sometimes the core of their rants. So I'll start with red. Red people, they're leaders. They're naturally a little more assertive than other people. They do not care what other people think as long as they believe themselves. They are very concerned with respect and justice. They do not like people to be picked on. They're very concerned with injustice. They're naturally okay with being in charge and leading other people. They love to solve problems, and they're very aware of the world around them and how we all have roles in it so that it works well. And a lot of their rants will lead back to mutual respect. Respect is very important for red people. They want respect, but they know they have to give it to get it. And they expect everybody to do the same thing. If you want my respect, you have to give it to me and I'll give it back to you. It's a mutual exchange. So the things that can really bother them are injustice, people thinking they're better than other people jumping on a hierarchy, disrespect, and overall stupidity and lack of common sense in the systems of the world. So that's why reds can get like really upset with bad road manners. They don't like when people cut lines. I mean, none of us like this stuff, but like the red people can really, it really cuts them deep. They can get upset when somebody gets special treatment. So all these things can lead back to a rant in them. So for example, I have a neighbor. He's extremely red. And he is across the street neighbor didn't like how he was parking his car. Now, we live in an HOA. And if you know anything about Florida, it's a thing. So there's like a community set of rules about things. And and yes, my red neighbor was not parking correctly. That is true. He was parking incorrectly, like he was leaving his car on the street overnight. You're not supposed to do that. Okay. Instead of the neighbor walking across the street and knocking on my red aura neighbors and saying, hey, man, face to face, can you do this? This isn't right. Hey, can you help me out? I was having a hard time backing out in the morning or whatever. He went directly to the property manager and complained to her. Okay. Well, my red neighbor lost it. Like, the rant was about tattletales. He had a tattletale rant. Tattletales, that's so weak, come talk to me just face to face. I would have listened. What the heck? Like, who tells on people? Who gets somebody else involved? Like, what's wrong with you? Because for red people, they're very big on owning their stuff. Like, if they have a problem, they will walk up to you and tell you the problem. Hopefully respectfully. If they're balanced, it's a respectful and level-headed way. And so he had he just had a whole red rant about tattletales. And you're right. Yeah, tattletales stink. Like, it's, we tell the kids not to tattletale, but the depth of his anger and rage about it meant that this was like a real issue for him because it's something that he strives not to be, a tattletale. So that's a little example for red people. Yellows. Yellow people, yellow auras, their whole lives, it's just the way they are. They're so capable. And, little yellow kids, I even see it when I read little yellow kids, they're given tasks and responsibilities because they want them. I'll cook. I'll do this. I got it. I'll take care of it. I'm good, Mom. Don't worry about me. I'll figure it out. They're just like that because that's how they show love. Like, don't worry about me. I got it is a yellow aura person's way of saying, I love you. Just worry about you. I don't want you to worry about me. That's my way of showing you love. That's why with little yellow aura kids, sometimes like the parents will be like, oh my God, you don't need me. Actually, that's how they show you they love you, by trying to get you not to worry about them. Anyways, so your whole life as a yellow aura, you've been constantly being like, hey, don't worry about it. I got it. And noticing the details, because yellow aura people have an ability to notice details other people don't notice in lots of different places. Noticing details, taking care of things without being told to, paying attention all the time. And when other people don't do that, or they look past it, or they forget something, or they're just not as self-aware in that way as the yellow aura person is, it can really cause a rant in the yellow aura person. It's like, what the heck? Like, notice things or do that, or come on, get it together. I do. So this is a funny story. My my younger daughter, they had an egg hunt in the classroom, and we were all supposed to give something for this egg hunt party. I gave something else. I gave contributed plates and cups and that kind of stuff. But my neighbor donated a lot of eggs for the egg hunt. So she's yellow aura. Okay. She's a yellow aura, and she donated a ton of eggs. Like, so that all the kids would have enough eggs. Wow. Kids come home. They have one egg. Both the kids, like my kid and her kid, like they have one egg. We're like, where are all the eggs? Like, what happened? Apparently the teacher let her 2 older kids, like one's 19 and one's like 11, do the egg hunt, and they hid the eggs and got all the eggs. Well, my yellow aura neighbor lost it. She's like, I sent in enough eggs so each kid could have this many eggs. And why didn't you? Because I stuffed these eggs. I bought these eggs. I donated these eggs. My kid brought these eggs in. I wanted every kid, I said it clearly, every kid could have 10 eggs each or whatever. And they come home with 1 egg and your kid took all the eggs. And your kids. And she really was upset. Now, is that a screwed up thing to do? Yeah, it is. But me, I'm like, it just didn't trigger me. I'm like, oh, whatever, moving on. But for her, it was really upsetting because she made sure that every kid would have a certain amount of eggs, and she was detailed about it. And then the teacher just disregarded it and did what she wanted to do without respecting the time that my yellow aura neighbor took to donate all this. So that was like a big thing about fairness and structure. She had a big, how we structure the egg hunt, how we structure any activity, these types of things. And I get it. We all get the things with the rants is you get it. It's just it didn't hit me the same way it hit her. But I understood why it hit her because she's in the details and somebody else wasn't. So for her, that's very disrespectful. That's very ingracious. That's very unloving. Blue people. If you're a blue your whole life, you're constantly seeing other people before you see yourself. It's just what you do. You look to see, okay, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? And before you do anything for yourself, you make sure everyone else has all their needs met. So for a blue person, when they see themselves or somebody else being mistreated or being left out, that can cause an extremely triggering reaction for a blue aura person. Long time ago, I was at this play date when my oldest was really little. And I was with one mom and me, and then this other mom came, and she brought her kids McDonald's. She had 2 kids, but she didn't bring our kids McDonald's. And she knew that she was going to get McDonald's, and her kids are sitting there eating their milkshakes and their chicken nuggets and their fries. And our kids, they're all like 4. So they're like, where's our McDonald's? That's how kids are. They're like, come on, where's my McDonald's? What the heck? And they're just sitting there watching the kids eat McDonald's. Well, the other mom I was with was like, whoa, she's very blue. She's like, who does that? Who can sit their kids down in front of other kids with McDonald's, knowing that other kids they're going to obviously want it. Who doesn't call on their way over? And this person doesn't have money issues. Okay, I just have to put that out there because that would be an excuse. This person doesn't have money issues. They could have done it. They could have eaten at McDonald's before they got here. They could have done a lot of different things, but they just came to her house with the McDonald's, sat down, and chowed down in front of all our kids who are like, where's our McDonald's? So blue aura, very left out. She felt really left out, and she really got upset that the kids were sitting there staring and couldn't have any. So that was a big issue for her. It was hard for her to be friends with this person. She got over it, but it was hard for her to let this go. Because who does that? And do I want to be friends with somebody who does that? So blue aura ranting, leaving somebody out. Green auras. If you're a green aura, or if you know a green aura, they're extremely level-headed, calm, chill, wordy people. So they are really into why. They like to ask questions. They listen carefully. They really take in information and try to understand it through their own filters. That's how they show love. If they're, if they hear something that you're going through, they'll sit there and really filter through it. And they might ask you a lot of questions. They want to understand it on their own level first. And they're very into research, real solutions to problems. They're really into the logical overall, viewpoint and perspective of things. So what do they hate? They hate waste. Green auras cannot stand waste of time, waste of resources. They don't like when somebody I don't want to swear, doesn't do something 100%. They want to make sure that if you're approaching a project, you do it with the best, you've pre-educated yourself on how to do it, so you're not just winging it. And for that, they don't like illogical application of knowledge to systems, basically. So they are very into, let's do our research before we start. Let's not just throw ourselves at it. That's just how they are. So a lot of their rants, and I don't call green people green rants, I call them TED Talks, because when you get a green person ranting about something, it's more like a very educational TED Talk. And then you walk away like, okay, I learned a lot. I don't know if I still agree with them, but I learned a lot today, because they will bring the facts and the research for you. So anyways, they don't like waste. So a lot of their TED Talks will be about that. It can really upset them when people just don't look at the science or the research or what's behind it before having an opinion, or because they're really big on that. They're like, I'm going to hold my opinion until I learn more, and then I will form an opinion that's an educated opinion. That's a big thing for green aura people. So people not listening to science, way back when, those of you old enough to remember this, I was, oh my God, how old was I? 18? Yeah. When we were going from 1999 to 2000, and it was Y2K. And like the mentality at the time was, this was everywhere, like the media, everything, like the whole world was going to shut down, because I guess the computers didn't understand to go from like calendar year 99 to 00 or something. So like, and I'm probably explaining it totally wrong, but that's what's my 18-year-old understanding about it at the time. And everyone was like, the world's going to end. Like, everything's going to stop. Like, all the systems are going to shut down. Like, there's going to be no money. Like, electricity will stop. Like, everyone was like freaking out, like doomsday stuff. My really good friend's dad was so green. He couldn't handle it. Like, I'll never forget. He was constantly like, you're all so stupid. Like, and this was before Google Slides, but he would have like totally brought those out for this. But he was like constantly, anybody to listen like this, and giving very educated, researched, and logical responses to why that's not going to happen. And you're all just ridiculous. And anybody he met, they got the TED Talk, green aura TED Talk, why Y2K isn't happening. Like clerks at stores and waiters and waitresses and me and like all our friends, all her friends and everybody. So it was just really funny. And I'm sure like today, in today's day and age, like with all the science and like when people are like, this isn't true and this isn't true, I'm sure I feel really awful for the green people, and they're probably on like TED Talk overdrive at this point, where they feel like they should just invite everyone over for their TED Talk so we all get it at once. But yes, green aura TED Talks. Purple auras. Okay, so purples are very outbursty and intuitive, and they kind of just go for it sometimes. Hey, you want to do this? Yeah, I'll try that. Hey, you want to go here? Yeah, let's do it. Like, they're usually pretty flexible, and their whole life they can get purple shamed for it. Like, what are you wearing? Or why are you dancing first? Or what did you just say? Or they can get kind of like targeted. The world loves to throw things at shiny people, and purples can be very shiny, and it can elicit insecurities in other people who are like, why aren't I that shiny or whatever? But with purples and what irks them, the purple rants, this would be about people not being authentic, people not being honest, and people hiding how they truly feel about something. Because purples can feel other people's true intentions or feelings, they don't judge them, because they're usually pretty upfront about their own themselves. So they'd rather somebody just be honest about something than be fake. So with purple people, for example, they can be very upset when somebody says there's only one way to do something. Oh, that's the only way. Or they can get very upset when somebody targets somebody for being a little bit flamboyant or spontaneous. Oh, they didn't think. Oh, they didn't follow the rules. Because purple people can get very ranty when other people get on them for not following rules. Because rules for purples are control. So if somebody's not doing something that is the, I guess, societally acceptable way of doing something, they can get very upset about that closed-mindedness. All right, indigos. If you're indigo, you're aware of everything. You're aware of everyone's intentions, everyone's true feelings. You're aware of everyone's everything. And because of that, you can try your whole life to be very quiet because you want to make sure you're not upsetting people energetically. So usually indigos are incredibly energetically responsible, which is just my way of saying they are very calm. They check their energy before going out. If they have an exchange with you, even on the worst day, they're pleasant and you don't sense anything from it. They are very also cognizant of their noises, which is why an indigo rant can be if you're noisy, if you're a loud chewer, if you walk into a room and just like turn on all the lights at once while somebody else, while you're sitting there. Kind of if the whole house is quiet and somebody comes in from work and they have their own vibe with them and they're just like, taking their vibe out and putting it all over the place, messing up the vibe of their house with their vibe that's not integrated yet in the calm vibe that already exists. And if you're indigo, this all makes sense. That can be an indigo rant. Like if somebody's chewing loud, it can be, and your whole life make sure you're not chewing loud. This isn't about me at all. Yes, it is. And somebody's like, I'm not chewing. You're like, what the heck? Like, why are you being so loud with your energy when I am so cognizant of the fact that I'm being quiet all the time for you? Or when I walk into a room, I make sure I match the energy that's here. I don't just come in with my own nonsense. Or I'm neutral when I walk in. I don't come in with my own stress. So that or I definitely don't turn the lights on in a room when I walk on because you were sitting in the dark perfectly happily. So anyways, that can really upset indigo people when people aren't conscious and conscientious of their own noise and energy and, I guess, intentions energetically. Pinks. Pink people, their whole lives are joyful. And if you're not going to be joyful with them, that's fine. That's fine. They're going to make their own joy bubble and they'll create it. And that's their escape. Are you welcome in this joy bubble? Yeah, come on in. Got to play by the rules and you got to be joyful too, but come on in. So a big rant, a pink aura rant would be somebody popping a joy bubble, negative people. Why would you ever make fun of somebody or bring someone down who's in a good mood? Well, a lot of people do that. And pinks can't handle it because it's been happening in their whole life. And they get judged for what they're joyful about or what they create their escape about. So, for example, pink aura people, they might, I don't know. I mean, it depends on how old you are. But when you're a kid and maybe you're playing with Barbies and you're 12 or whatever, and somebody's like, you're too old to play with Barbies. Like, this is my joy. And if you're a strong enough pink aura with a good support system, you're like, screw that. I'm not listening to you. I will play with Barbies as much as I want. I will have my dolls. I will do what I want because that's their happy spot. That's their escape. That's their joy. And bursting it is such a rant to them. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, why can't you handle me being happy? Like, what is your problem that you would burst my joy bubble? Older, sometimes pink auras, they get called selfish or insensitive or I guess like self-involved because they'll kind of do the same kind of playful things, but in an adult realm. Like they'll go shopping or they'll spend a lot of time getting their makeup done or working on their hair or doing something that can be deemed materialistic or superficial. They're just playing. They're still playing. They're just playing with, I guess, more adult stuff than kid stuff. That's all. And so again, people be like, you're shallow, you're materialistic, you're self-involved. It's like, I am playing. And what is your problem that why do you care that I'm happy? Like that says a lot about you, not me. So anyway, yeah, pinks can't handle the joy bubble poppers and the negative Nancy's. All right. Last one, turquoises. If you're a turquoise, I just had a reading with a lovely turquoise lady. Hopefully she's listening. She'll know exactly who she is and why I'm talking about her because we just talked about this. You feel invisible. You feel invisible. And your whole life you've been absorbing it. You're an old soul. You absorb into everybody else. You own your own stuff and you see everybody else's, and you're not judgmental about it, but you can be obviously very curious why everybody isn't like owning their own stuff that's so painfully obvious to you. And you have no problem owning your own stuff either, as long as everybody else owns their stuff. So the pet peeve I have found with turquoise people is invisibility. Sometimes a turquoise can talk and literally nobody listens to them. They do not. They're not heard. It's like background noise. If somebody's like a turquoise person is speaking. And it's because the energy of turquoises can be so fine and kind of absorbent and reflective that when they enter social situations or they're in relationships or anything really, they are kind of invisible. And I was just explaining it to this young lady I was reading, which is, hey, so that's got some good parts to it because you can really slip into places. And the people that do see you are very special. But it has cons to it too, which means if you want to make an impression, you really have to work at it. Because and you do have to fight for your own agency, like your own self-advocacy. You really do have to get louder about it than other people. So a pet peeve can be people talking over you, people not remembering you were somewhere where you were, people not thinking of you as an actual person and like just skipping over you all the time, not seeing you. Like you're at a restaurant and the waiter takes everyone order but yours, and you're just like, hey, I'm here. Can you literally not see me? Like, am I a ghost? Like, can you? This is a turquoise aura rant I will see. And another one I'll see with turquoise auras are, if I own my stuff, you got to own yours. So the reciprocity in taking ownership of each other's issues can be a turquoise rant. Okay, time to hear your rants. And if you're green, your TED Talks. Next. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. All right. So a lot of ranting going on today.
Yeah.
I was trying to avoid it. I couldn't even do it. But all right. So the Mystic Michaela spiritual family, they're ranters.
They are.
Okay. We asked them, to tell us about their rants. We want to know their aura color, to try to kind of figure out, why yellow, is there a commonality? Correlation. Right. So we're going to read some of these to you.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go
they're
first.
They're pretty good.
They're really
They might get you going.
So, yes. And I think the ones I actually picked, for the most part, are the ones that would get me going.
Ones that you kind of agree with. Well, as you were picking them, I heard you starting to rant with them. They're like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Okay. So the first one I have is Kirsten, and she has two that drive her nuts.
All right.
Okay. One, when I order a latte at coffee shops and they don't fill it all the way to the top, I'm not paying for air. This annoys me so much.
I feel that.
You do? Okay, that one doesn't bother me.
Well, it doesn't bother you?
No,
well, you don't put a lot of stuff in. If you're someone like me, I put a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah. Actually, I don't mind. And she's a red-blue. She has herself down as a red-blue here. I don't actually mind it because I like it. Because if I'm driving and it's a little bit less, it's less likely to spill on me. So actually, I'm okay with that one.
So you'd be okay if it was less? Do you like it if it's super full?
No, I don't like that. Would annoy me more.
So you're the same person. You're just like two different preferences.
Yes.
You're like, wow, who would fill it so high? I could burn myself and it could spill all over me.
Yeah.
So you have the same rant, but just like opposite.
Yeah, and well, this is funny because she put her hearts, she put blue then red. I always put red, blue. So that's interesting. And the second one she has is when people wear their outdoor shoes inside the house.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I
had to convert you.
That.
I had to convert you.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you should know better. Just take them off.
You used to go into people's houses with your shoes on, but you were raised that way.
But the thing is, I still do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Scott, that's rude.
I know. I don't like, yeah.
It's so disgusting.
I'd rather be a little rude, I guess.
And it was really bad when the kids, I could have ranted about that too when the kids were little and they were all over the floor and people walking with their shoes on. I'm like, are you okay? Like, come on. There's babies.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a shoe house, maybe that's different.
All right, what do you have?
Oh, Lore writes, and she's yellow. I generally get ranty about things like cupboards being left open, doors being locked when no one's inside, people letting their dogs off leash in on-leash areas, not following the rules.
Okay, so that...
She's probably a really good rule follower, and it's annoying when people don't follow the rules.
Would that be yellow?
It's yellow.
Kind of a yellow,
yeah. She's yellow.
A yellow ranter.
Yeah. But I get it. Like, when rules aren't followed. Like, or... Yeah, like opening up. You know what a yellow person thing is? I should go into this. all you yellow moms, kitchen closed. It is a yellow person thing to close the kitchen at a certain time every night, and no one's allowed in after that. You're not a mean mom, by the way. If you do that, you're probably just yellow, and it's how you keep your sanity, because it really bothers you after you clean all of the kitchen up, and then somebody's going to get their cereal, leaving the cupboards open, spilling the milk. It's like, no, kitchen closed.
Kitchen closed. Mm-hmm. All right.
All right, what do you got?
All right. This one is almost like I wrote it myself.
Oh.
This is from Giselle.
You just picked one you agreed with.
She goes on this tirade against TikTok and The Bachelor. First she writes,
she's like her kindred spirit.
This is like, I mean.
You two could just talk all day.
Yes, I mean, I love this. Who knew C's were no longer cool, she starts off with. It's TikTok, because they dropped the way they write it.
Yes.
Then she goes, I don't understand the majority of the content. I don't get it. I don't get the humor. I don't get the point. I don't get the moves. There's just so much I don't get that I can't even list everything. Giselle, that's exactly how I feel.
Like Scott's heart feels listened to.
Yeah. There's a lack of originality and too many videos just playing copycat. Totally agree.
Thank you.
That's a whole thing. I really could go off, but I'm going to bite my tongue here.
She's right.
TikTok challenges. Do we need to re-explore the definition of a challenge? A challenge is a contest or a competition. A challenge is also not a prank nor posting dance videos.
What's her color?
Where you're doing the same dance as everyone else.
She's just like you. She has to. She feels the need to reteach people things.
Yeah, I don't have the colors down here, but I just want to say I love you. Did I go through? Yes, I've said this so many times.
Yeah, it's like somebody out there.
Yeah,
is the same.
Most people are going to think I wrote this. Actually,
yeah,
I didn't write it. I didn't copy it.
No, I saw that.
Someone else did. Okay. All right. What do you have?
Okay. You're like I think you just saved that and kept it forever.
Yes.
Suzanne wrote, this made me laugh so hard. She's indigo yellow. People saying literally for everything. I literally died. No, you did not. Or you wouldn't be saying this. Or saying it unnecessarily. I literally lost my wedding ring. There is no way to figuratively do this. People say it all the time and it drives me crazy. There is no need.
Okay, so please, whatever you do not watch any Bachelor or any reality TV host that hosts a podcast.
Don't listen.
Yeah, don't listen.
Because they literally say it all the time.
Because they literally say that all the time.
All right.
I have Stephanie, and she writes, people who speed through school zones, neighborhoods, and parking lots. Yes, I totally agree. That's the worst kind of person.
Yeah.
Who speeds through a school zone? That's horrible.
I turned into one of those people that scowls at speeders.
Yeah.
I scowl. I'm
yeah.
like, I hope you see this furrowed brow.
Yeah. It's like I almost want to
disapprove of you.
Yeah. I mean, I want to speed up, but I know I can't. So I can never catch them to give them, like, the finger or something. Because then I'd be speeding in the school zone. But you want to. And then, like...
just to get them.
I know. You're, like, just hoping there's a police... That's, like, when I really hope there's a police officer there to get those, jerks.
I think a lot of people feel that way. Like, we have a community Facebook page, and somebody wrote on there they learned their lesson a few months ago. Like, careful, everybody, there's a cop, because we have a school right in front of our community. There's a cop in the school zone, and everyone was like, what is wrong with you? He's there for a reason. Don't warn those jerks who are going to, like, people did go after the person that was trying to alert everyone.
Yeah. And she also writes, her second one is men. Just men. And you know what? I agree with that one, too. I totally agree. It's just men.
Just men.
Men.
She just ran all day on various topics about them.
All day.
It's funny. Gabby, who's a purple and blue, writes, when people don't say thank you or show gratitude, I'm still super annoyed that I never received thanks or any acknowledgement from a colleague after she asked me to rush complete a project that wasn't even my responsibility. Yeah, like, how hard is it to just be like, thanks, thank you?
Yeah.
How hard is it?
Okay.
Just say thank you. I get it. Well, when you're not seen a lot, when you're not seen a lot and you're nice and you do something and you're probably so on top of saying thank you to people and showing gratitude, like Gabby probably is, and like somebody doesn't do it to you, it's like, I do that all day. I just talked about this.
Yeah. So, so it seems like you're picking the ones that bug you and I'm picking the ones that bug
I am.
me. Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, we're a little...
Because that one doesn't really bother me if you don't thank me. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Oh, really?
No, I don't care.
Like, you hold a door for somebody and they just walk through talking on their cell phone?
I mean, it would annoy me, but I wouldn't rant about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just expect people to be like that, I suppose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, next.
All right, Michelle writes, when people who just start working out / eating healthy rave about it, talk about it all the time, she says she's been working out and eating healthy for 10 years, never feels the need to let anyone know, so it just grinds her gears. Yes. You know what? You're right, Michelle. I mean, it's like you're like
losing it.
We go to the gym a lot,
Yeah.
I never post my workout
That's
on
so
Facebook.
boring.
Yeah, it's like when someone, it's weird because then you actually know they're not going when they post it because they'll post their workout went to the gym today, and then you only posted it one time, so that's probably you only went one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Michelle, yes, I agree with that 100%. That you're just doing the work, you're eating healthy, you're going to the gym, you're getting your workouts in, and you're doing it for yourself, not for a Facebook post or an Instagram post or for other people to know. And then there's the other people that, do that. So
Yeah, that doesn't bother me.
that doesn't bother you, but that bothers
I don't care.
me. Okay, bothers me.
Elizabeth writes, and she is green and blue. People who comment without listening, without doing their due diligence. Yeah, I talked about this with green people. It's like they think about their answers before they answer. Like they research properly and they make sure if they're going to give a thought, it's an educated one, not just an opinion, like that.
Yeah.
And that, I think, that irks her. And I get that. That makes sense. Yeah. Just because you think something doesn't mean it's right. You know what I mean? Back it up. Or you don't have to give an opinion even. You can hold your thoughts on something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. Green. Get it.
Yeah. All right. So I'm getting too heated, so I'm just going to end it with my last one here.
Okay.
I'm kind of sweating over here already, just getting all annoyed. But all right. Allison writes, just, when I don't do another round of Jumanji. So there's a rant about me that sometimes I don't say Jumanji enough.
Right.
So, Allison, Jumanji. I hope that helps.
And on that note.
All right.
This podcast is for you and about you. Thank you so much for spending time with us today.
If you want to be the most interesting person at the cocktail party, well, hop on over and listen to the Brain Candy podcast.
Our award-winning content will have you laughing while you're learning.
We read all the best articles, books, and studies and keep up with new TV shows, documentaries, and pop culture. And then we cram it all into 2 shows a week.
Conspiracy theories, cannibal rabbits, unsolved mysteries, the history of the Walkman. There's something for everyone.
The Brain Candy podcast. Find our link in the show notes.
Or simply search for the Brain Candy podcast on your podcast app.